Finish your cigars, or don't since we're not your CEOs, and get ready for the non-traditional take under traditional as part of our show, Hotline. Developers answering questions from the comments. More specifically, some bloke called Kirill Yudentsef. Yeah, that one.
Hello guys, my name is Kirill Yudentsef. I'm creative director of Gaijin Entertainment and co-founder, and now I will read your questions and try to answer.
JT Rec asks, how did you guys come up with your company name? Also, what motivated you to make video games?
Wow, that's a short question with a long answer. When we started our company, we had different options to choose from, and that was the most convenient, the shortest one, something that you will pronounce easily at least. We also respect Japanese games that times a lot because we wanted to make a console games, and those times significant amount of console games were developed in Japanese. That's second reason. And we are not Japanese, we are Gaijin. That's Japanese word means foreigner. So we are foreigners for Japan, that's why we are Gaijin. As most of developers, we played the games a lot and we wanted to make our own cool and maybe better or different games, and that's why I think it's the answer for 99% of all game developers.
Then there's a question from Silver Butt. May I work at Gaijin's Worth Honor department?
If you're high skilled, experienced, and interested in making games and played co-founder a lot and share some common values, and then it's probably possible, why not? But it can depend on other things. So come and work with us.
Dedicated Dog writes, what is life like in the office? It is full of glory of the motherland?
Of course. Why you ask?
Next question comes from Sim Elas. How much of your budget goes to researching and implementing Russian bias?
The answer can be different from 100% to 0%, depends on how you want to treat us.
FireRate233 asks, why is your logo a snail?
A snail is an ancient symbol of goodness that defeat evil. Ancient, I mean at least Middle Ages symbol. That's one reason, and another reason is that a snail symbolizes willing to get to the target, to the goal, to finish the way. Well, you know, snails are not usually that fast as we are, but they are very devoted to their way, to their path.
Jacob Wolpe has another question. How many programmers are working on this game?
Well, about 20 something, maybe 30 something.
That's not the last question about the workers. FiUW asks, how big is the Worth Honor development team?
At least more than 130.
A player with a rather long but great sounding name, Achilov Mohammed Amin, writes, hey Gaijin, how much time do you need to create a new model for the Italians and the PB4Y2, for example?
Well, I don't know about PB4Y2, but usually bombers and attackers requires more time to create, and average time is about 3 months for a plane, about the same time for a tank, and a bit more, or maybe not a bit, 3-4 months for a ship. For Italians it took at average much longer because of lack of documentation and difficulties with it, so sometimes it took a year for some of them.
Eric Bishton writes, how do you guys decide who gets to work on which planes? Are there ever fights about who gets to make their favorites?
Most of our team are really interested in aviation, in military vehicles. So when you're interested in some big thing, you probably will like not one plane or tank. You will find something interesting about any vehicle, and at least hundreds of them will be your favorites. So they're not fights. Sometimes people prefer to make an exact model, but they're not fights because you just can get another vehicle that you like.
Tiger Timon is interested in our day-to-day work process. What is the average duration of a meeting of the Worth Honor team? Do you do stand-up meetings?
Yes, we do stand-up meetings. The average duration of stand-up meeting is about 15 minutes. That's not stand-up meeting for whole of the team. It's stand-up meetings for different parts of different teams inside of the team. because otherwise we will take a day long to discuss anything. Stand-up meetings for small amount from 5 to 7 people in a team.
Guys also has a serious question. How many devs does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I think that's not a problem for developers. We are software developers, so screwing a light bulb is a problem to our IT guys.
Cookie wants to know, how do you guys, the War Thunder team, make money?
It's a good question. I don't know. Somehow our players like to, spend some money probably to help us in development. Or maybe they just like the game and wanted to share their emotion with us.
Lyle Kirsch is thinking along the same lines. If someone screws up a vehicle model, are they sent to the Gulag or just executed?
Well, we send it to the Gulag and then execute. And probably sometimes we first execute and then send to Gulag, so it depends. And sometimes we just play balalaika and drink vodka with our bears.
The Killer Chop writes, "What? Your voice is so beautiful, sweet as a rose." By the way, what do you guys do in your free time?
We have a big team and different people do different things. Most of our teammates are somehow in the sports, in the games, things like that. And of course with the family.
Nothing escapes the notice of the player called TL Gaming reactions. Hey Gaijin, I couldn't help but notice that you uploaded episode 18 of the shooting range twice. How did that happen? Oh, that's actually something that we can answer. It was an elaborate ploy to a carefully calculated plan to moving to the next question. Mukpov asks, what is Gaijin's favorite food? Shashlik?
Well, of course not snails, so shashlik probably will be a good answer.
Jadbo is even more specific. What is your favorite type of Mexican food at the office?
Nachos, I guess. Not much of chili con carne or fajitas in the office, so nachos will be a good answer.
Burnt cheese just needs some kitchen guidance. Gaijin, what is your favorite recipe for some good compote?
Generic recipe for compote is take fruit, sugar, boil it with the water, and that will be good compote. So depends on your choice of fruit.
Nuclear Atmosphere is getting philosophical. Why is food off someone else's plate always better than your own?
Well, I think it's some psychological question. Do not know details. Good question.
Then there's a question from a player called Art of Free Speech. Just to be sure I'm doing things properly, what are the proper adult beverages to consume when playing each respective country's vehicles?
Soviet vehicles probably vodka, of course. For German vehicles, I think schnapps or maybe beer. Britain, I think British ale will be a good choice. For Italian and French, you probably go with the wine. Chianti will be, I think, best for planes. For American, I think you should go with the whiskey, bourbon. Japanese should go with the sake. I was not very original. I never thought about this before.
Not the Gerd is probably right. Gaijin, I found your secret. When you call artillery strikes and tank battles, artillery comes from space. It's the space battleship Yamato, right?
Well, not Yamato, because Yamato has too much caliber size, so it's a smaller battleship in orbital, flying around.
Hi, I'm the boy has an urgent question. Gaijin, can you please point me to the restroom?
Depends where you're located, but for you, wherever you want.
Tactical Toast writes, who's the narrator guy? All we know about him is his voice. Well, my name is Sean, also known as Pups RK, and I'm a commentator for War Thunder. I'm also a narrator for the Shooting Range and Thunder Show. I'm also a co-producer at Thunder Show, among with other people. And I'm an occasional live streamer. I play tabletop games. The one about man in power armor. Let's just keep it at that. So, yeah, this is it. What else do you want to know? And I don't eat cheese. Never, ever. Luke Skelton is also interested in Sean. I mean me. When did you get asked to narrate for the Shooting Range? And do you like waffles? That happened about over a year ago, as I previously mentioned. I was doing some other projects for War Thunder and Igramania, and they were like, would you like to do this? I was like, fine, let's do it. And yes, I do like waffles. Smarty Voy asks, How do you guys come up with the ideas for each episode of the shooting range, and how do you decide on what topics to choose? We have a special procedure. It involves monkeys, wrenches, some elements of Olympic fencing, and a really big turnip. Stone Crescent writes, "Hey Gaijin, I was wondering specifically who hosts and edits the shooting range. I didn't see you guys credited here on YouTube, and after a year of making these videos, I think you deserve some recognition. Keep up the good work. Thanks, mate." Well, you already heard a bit about me, and there is a whole team of other people who work on this project. They write texts, edit them, record footage, eat turnips, It won't be fair to name just a few names, and we would take way too much time to list every single person. Just know that we, the folks at the Agromania video team, are damn glad that you like what we're doing. That's it for today and for this landmark episode. Now let's make another 99. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you on the shooting range.